we welcome on our show this morning John Morley. We met on Podmatch. It's a wonderful platform that we can meet all the podcasters. Uh, John, it has been like a couple weeks that we planned for this interview,
I
right?
know it's been off and on, and then we've been scheduling, and then we had some. I think there was some technical challenge on your end, and we had to reschedule. But it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you as well for your patience, right? Because
My
technical
pleasure.
issue is not so is not so easy to resolve, you know. And I'm glad we can make it today.
I can understand that. I'm an engineer, and I know that sometimes what comes easy to me doesn't come easy to everyone. So I definitely have compassion and understanding for that.
Yes, thank you, John. John, today that the topic today is about like patience. But before you can talk a little bit about patience, I would like you to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you have done, so far, and so that they can give us
Sure.
some steps about patience. Go
I'll,
ahead
I'll give
and
you I'll give you a quick. My name's John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist. I'm a national talk show host. I'm a first responder, and I'm president of a 501c3 organization. With a real quick shoot to what I do. So my IT company that I own and run, Wall Street trusts us with their IT and technology needs, shouldn't use. So I designed the security for Wall Street. About 11 years ago, I had decided that because I hired a large marketing advertising company when I was in college, when I was starting this other company. And I decided that this company is ripping me off. They're not doing anything for me. And thus, I need to figure out, how do I get rid of them? But how do I replace them when I don't know how to do what they do? Because everybody keeps saying, John, you're never going to be a marketer. You're never going to be an advertiser. You're never going to have any money. And I believed all these people. Then something changed in my life after school. I became certified in hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, took the Silla method. And 11 years ago, all that training just kind of just like had an epiphany in my brain.
Mhm.
And I decided, Daniel, I was going to fire them, but I didn't know how. So I called Xerox, who were a client of, and I said, how do I become a mom and pop print shop? And they said to me,
Okay.
John, it's real simple, 150. I said, I will give you the $150 right now. I said, no, 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 150,000. I said, oh, let me get back to you. Went to my bank. My bank said yes. I said, oh no, now what do I do? Usually your bank says no. My bank said yes. Now I'm in trouble. I got the 150,000, but I didn't tell Xerox that I got the 150,000. I told them, unfortunately, I did get the loan, but I only got 130. So unfortunately, I want to thank you for your time. It looks like we can't proceed. I knew what I was doing. They said to me, John, hold on a minute. Can we get you coffee? Comes back out to me. He says, John, he says, you know what? I said, no, what? I'm going to tell you something. We're having a special starting this Friday to next Friday. The manufacturer's giving $20,000 rebate for any
Wow.
purchase on a production machine. I said, wow, because you're in luck. You've got just enough money. And it comes with free training. So I got the machine, got trained, and then I walked into the advertising company the next week, knocked on their door, and I said to him, we had a great run and we're done. And I fired them. First 2 years,
Wow.
I was terribly unsuccessful and I failed miserably. But you haven't failed unless you quit. And I didn't quit. So I kept pursuing it. That third year, I started to turn a profit. And then I just became very passionate about creating motivational content, becoming a national talk show host, and being here with the one reason that I'm alive for, Daniel, and that is to become a better version of myself and help everyone else become better versions of themselves. That's why I exist every day.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that your all your stories, all your experiences, that help you to become who you are today is a wonderful thing, John. And I'm
Thank
glad that
you.
I
Thank you.
can listen to you, and this kind of experience can help me to grow as a new podcaster.
It's a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be on your show today.
Amen. Thank you, John. John, now you can tell us about patience because all this thing that you have been going through that not happen, you know, like a flashlight. There's a process, right? The process
Right.
to
You don't
reach.
just flip an on and off switch, unfortunately, right?
Yes,
Or
yes. It's
there's
like
no manual that we can download from Amazon or buy at a bookstore that says how to run our life.
yes.
Yeah,
And then
it's not
that's
here
very
yet.
important that what you said about like everything has a process, and that process,
Yes.
as you can say, is like patience, right? And then tell us about how have you been patient to all, those processes,
So
tell
you
us
got to be
more.
patient. You got to be patient. But the one thing I want to share with you before even patience is you got to have, Daniel, and this has changed my life so immensely. And if you guys forget everything I tell you today, it's okay. Just do this one thing. It'll change your life. When you get up in the morning, lay in bed for a few moments. Most people do that anyway.
Mhm.
And practice an attitude of gratitude. And
Yes,
also at night. Now, what the heck is that? What is he talking about? Attitude of gratitude. What is this? Who is this crazy guy? Attitude of gratitude.
yes.
Be thankful for what you have. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm
Amen.
thankful for being with you today. I'm thankful
Mhm.
for my breakfast. I'm thankful for the clients I spoke to. I'm thankful for the money I have. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for breathing. I'm thankful for the intellect and the knowledge that my creator gives me. And so I'm thankful for so many things. But if you can't be thankful for something, start with the alphabet. Okay. Everybody knows the alphabet, I hope. Take the letter A. What does the A stand for? Air. You're thankful for air, aren't you? I guess.
Yes, we
The letter
do.
B. What does the letter B stand for? I'm thankful for being alive. What could C stand for? I'm thankful for my car. You get the idea, right? You want to have this feeling for a few moments. Why? Because it causes dopamine to release in your brain. When your body goes through a physical and a chemical change, you become a new person. You become a better version of yourself. And I'm going to share something with you, Daniel. There was a gentleman
Yes.
several years ago. I only learned this 5 years ago. I wish I learned it a long time ago, but I didn't. I'm not going to mention his name. He was a pretty high up gentleman, elected official. And one day he asked me to come to his office, and I was so pleased. He came there so that he could belittle me, but I didn't know this. And he said to me, John, what you designed, you created. He said, it's wonderful. We're using it, we're launching it, and you're not. I was like, oh, well, can I help you? No, you're too small. You don't have any pull. Okay, and when are you going to give up with that stupid charity you run? Because it's a waste of time and nobody really cares about it. So now you just hit me below the belt twice. I'm saying to myself, what do I do? But I can't let them see that I'm feeling bad.
Mhm.
And he says, what are you going to give up? So I do this, Daniel. I sit back in his guest chair and I close my eyes for a moment or two. He goes, what are you doing? Just give me a minute. I don't want to lie to you, sir. I want to give you the exact month, day, hour, minute, and second that I'm officially going to give up this nonsense. I've almost got it. Oh, I got
Wow.
it. And he comes back to me
Amazing.
and he didn't know what to say to me. And I said, I got it. He said, when is it? I said, I'm going to give up, sir, when a little baby boy and a little baby girl tells their parents they don't want to walk anymore. He gives me all kinds of funny looks. I said, can I ask you a question? He says, yes. I said, well, you have a, because he says, when the heck is that? I said, you have a boy and a girl, right? He says, yes. And they both know how to walk. They're out of college or in college now. He says, yes. Did they ever tell you they didn't want to learn to walk anymore? Making all kinds of faces. No. Sir, I always knew that you were a bright and intelligent man and would give me the correct answer when I asked you that question today. You know what he told me, Daniel? Get the blank out of my office. You're arrogant. I said, sir, I'll be happy to leave your office. And I want you to know one thing. I didn't need your help today. I came here with an olive branch asking you to work with me, but I don't need you. He didn't know what
Wow.
to say. And so we had this moment. And, I always say, Daniel, the universe
Mhm.
does things for the right reason. And I
Yes,
didn't really
you're right.
fret. And he was always making things hard for me. And the one thing I want to share about that is that if you want everybody to like you in life, it's okay, but it's not okay. You need a couple people to basically, you need a few people to basically tell you that they don't believe in you. or that they're on the fence about you. Why? Because you need to bring your A game. That's the most important thing. If you don't bring your A game, you know what happens? Someone else will, and they'll replace you.
You're right.
That's the real reason.
You're right.
But you talked about patience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to get back to.
Yes.
This person was a thorn in my side a little bit, right? Kind of still a little thorn in my side. I'd be around. It'd be very dicey. It'd be very kind of like political, and it wasn't the most great connection. And back in my mind, I'm saying, gee, I wonder when he's going to leave office. I said that to myself. And I said, he's going to be here probably 100 years or more. Who knows? Keeps renewing himself. And my little thing that I'm doing is starting to grow. And I got an email the other day, like they sent out like a news blast. And the first sentence starts off by saying, thank you. And I said, you know what? I said, I know what he's going to say. I didn't even read it.
Nice.
He's stepping down. He says, thank you for all the many years that you've provided me, the community. And I've decided to not run for re-election. Now, I think, this is my feeling, that he's seeing that I'm getting some leverage. And he's not willing to share the stage with me.
Wow.
So he wants to get off as a winner.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And that was a really good sign. I never wished him any ill will or anything. In fact, this past year, I went to his office, I should say, and I came to the head person that runs his office, his administrator. I said, I want to come here and I want to say something to you. I have a blackboard, my little whiteboard. And I said, I want to apologize for anything I might have said to you or any of the staff or the board. Because, sometimes my zealousness is taken at being rude or unfair or being this egotistical person, which I'm not. But because of my passion, that's how it shows up. Yes. So I want to formally apologize to you and to everyone else. He's John, you don't have to apologize. I want to.
Yes, all right.
And so I'd like to today, this was only about 6 months ago, see my slate, all this stuff. I want to wipe this slate off with this eraser. And I want to start with a clean slate. And when I started doing that, nothing happened overnight, but little changes were happening with his staff that were a little more conciliatory toward me. And then to get this message yesterday that he's stepping down, something that I didn't think I'd ever see in my lifetime. But patience is something that's important. Yes, because you cannot force somebody to become something or do something on your time.
Exactly. Definitively.
When you do that, you cause enemies, you cause animosities.
You're right.
Right? Even in business, I said to him, look, I'm in no rush. The price may go up in a few weeks. I understand, you understand there's some shortages. I don't want to pressure you. I just want to be upfront with what's going to be coming on my table so I can share that with you.
Yes.
And people respect that.
Yes, it is.
But having patience is something that you don't get from a book. It's not something you can download.
No way.
It's not something that somebody can tell you. It's something you have to experience as a person.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. It's something you have to experience as a person. Right. And that is probably the most important thing, is to be able to do that and experience it as a person. You're and right. When you do that, ladies and gentlemen, it changes you.
You're right. You're right.
So being able to be patient is something, they say patience is a virtue. It really is.
Yes, it is.
You need to be able to understand what it is that you're doing. And why do you need patience? Well, you need to be patient for one main reason.
Yeah.
Dale Carnegie said something many years ago. We have to strive to become interested in other people.
Yes.
Okay. Forget about me. I don't matter to you. It really doesn't matter.
You're right.
What's important, Daniel, is two things. One, that I know your name properly.
Yes.
And two, that I have a genuine interest. Carnegie said it right. How to win friends and influence people. Too many people are trying to push people, are trying to, how can I say, manipulate people.
You're right.
That's a problem. Because why, Daniel? They're impatient.
You're right.
So patience is something that you need to have every day. So when you say, John, I have the attitude of gratitude. I'm in my third or fourth marriage. I have bills. I get it. Have patience.
Yes. Patience.
Have gratitude.
You're
A lady did this with me for 7 days. You know what happened on 7 days? She said, oh my gosh, John, what happened? I said, what happened? I quit my job. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, no, don't be. She says, I actually got one job that's paying me more than all my 3 jobs. And my son-in-law is actually moving back to my state. And now I'm going to be able to see my grandkids every single day. I said, isn't that great? So patience is something that you have to realize comes on divine timing schedule, not your schedule.
Yes.
So you want to make $1 million? That's fine. Have patience to do
patience
it.
$1 million. Correct.
Everything will come to you. Okay. And not to get into my religious boat here, but when you ask, it shall be given. Yes, and if you don't get something, it's not because you shouldn't get it. It's because maybe it's still coming, or maybe there's something that's coming better for you. So be open to the things that come into your life. Be open to them.
Yes.
Right? When you're open to them, and when you share patience with others, do you know what happens? You become this person that everybody wants to connect with.
You're right. Correct. Patience
is one of those big keys to landing yourself as a success. Well, John, I don't have time for this. I'm so busy. And you know what somebody tells me? So there's patience and there's busy. And I say to people, if you're busy, I get it. I'm busy too. But you're not really busy. You're actually not prioritizing what you want to do. Yes. If you want to do something, I don't care how busy you are, you're going to get it done. So when you're patient, a couple things happen. Yeah. You're able to quiet the mind. You can meditate. And you can stop those chattering monkeys that keep coming around. And when that happens, you're able to get spirit, you're able to get guidance from the universe, and you're able to see and hear so much in your life that wasn't there. But when you're impatient about what's going to happen, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You put more in your mind. I say to people, we become what we think about most often. Earl Nightingale Conant said it the best many years ago. When you understand that what you say becomes a manifestation of your life. Now, here's the thing that's very important. What you say is not the whole thing of manifestation, because the universe doesn't talk in words. It's part of it. The universe talks in heart. Yes. So our mind and our heart, when we connect them and when we manifest and feel it in our heart, that's when, Daniel, it becomes or starts to become a reality in your life. When you start to become grateful about what you have, it's already starting to manifest.
Go for it.
When you say I can't, or when you put doubt in, okay, it's not going to happen. When you go to a restaurant, maybe you like a steak dinner, and you ask for a filet mignon, and you order it.
Yes.
Waiter brings it to you. You don't keep asking the waiter, well, it takes some 10 or 15 minutes. Is my steak coming? Is my steak coming? Do you have my order? Are you sure you have it? Are you sure you got the French fries? Are you sure you got my drink? Are you sure you got my sides? You don't keep doing that, do you?
Oh, no.
Well, why the heck do we do it in real life? When we keep challenging ourselves to say, why isn't this happening? Now we're putting doubt in there. I already know these good things are happening to me.
All right.
Okay. I'll give you another example. We're hiring for a new position. And I have been trying to find this person for a long time. And a couple of days ago, I said to myself, I don't know where this person's coming from,
Mhm.
but I know that he's going to come to me. And I know that it's going to be the perfect person to grow in the position that I want to help our company. And today, I think we might have found that person that's setting up an interview with me. So you have to believe. Oh, I don't have my hat on today, but I usually wear a hat. And my hat says believe and achieve. And the reason it says that is because before you can achieve one little thing in your life, you got to believe. Claude Bristol Myers said this really well. Somebody was on a ship one time, and it was actually him, and he wanted to sit at the captain's table, but he's a nobody. How would he sit at the captain's table? He's just a starting author. He believed with all his might that he was going to sit at the captain's table. That night, he went to the dining room, and they were full. And she comes back and she says, "Oh, we have a spot for you." And she brings him through the room.
Yes.
He sits at the table in the front of the room. He says, "Well, this is a good table." He says, "I'm grateful to be at a table." Guess what happens 5 minutes later?
Mhm.
The captain shows up of the ship and
Wow.
sits right next to him.
Amazing.
He goes, "I've been wanting to talk to you." And his whole world opened up.
Mhm.
You see, I think the reason people don't have patience is they're focused on the moment, Daniel. And I'm not saying you can't focus on what you're doing. I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is you need to be patient, because when you're patient, you have so many other things that open up in your life. Okay?
You're right.
And patience is a key to success. It's one of the keys. There's lots of other keys.
Yes.
Patience is an attribute that not everybody has. Why, Daniel?
Yes.
Because they have an ego. There's no room for egos.
You're right.
When you're patient, just like when you have gratitude,
Mhm.
there's more things in your life that will show up that you can be grateful for. And if you don't have something right now that you can't be grateful for, like being alive,
Mhm.
be grateful for the things that the universe is going to bring you or that are on the way to you. I'm grateful for all the stuff that I don't even have yet.
Amen.
Amen, right?
Amen. That's faith.
That's faith.
Yes.
That's faith. And I'm very religious, but I don't know if the people listening are. I'm a Roman Catholic, but not to get into my religion.
Yeah.
I pray to God, I pray to the Lord, and I thank him for everything he's done for me. When I'm on the road, and that's a form of gratitude. And I realize some people here may not be religious. That's fine. Thank your creator.
Yes.
Be thankful for who you are.
Yes.
And where you are today.
Yes.
And if something doesn't go right in your life, just like with this thing, I say, you know what, Lord, I don't agree with this right now, but I'm grateful for the lessons you've shown me, which is to help me become a better version of myself and to help others become a better version of themselves. I don't understand it, but I'm happy for the lesson that I'm learning. When I got out of college and I got my first job, it was a government job. They treated me terribly. And after they treated me terribly, and one time I was going from one place to another school, and it usually takes 20 minutes. Well, one day it took 24 minutes to actually get back to that other school. And the Gestapo lady comes out. She goes, "John, where were you?" "I was coming back from school 307. "I know, but it usually takes you 20 minutes. "What happened to you?" "Oh, nothing." "Well, why did it take so long?" I said, "Well, why don't we dissect that, okay?" So I left this school at this time. I waved to the security guard. I walked down the street. I got in my car, came out here, went to the stop sign. Then I got to the ending. She said, "Well, you still have you still have 8 minutes, or you still have this." Then I went another turn. There was some traffic, and now I'm almost at time. I said, "Oh, I remember. It was 105 degrees." I went into 7-Eleven and I bought a bottle of water. She says, "Aha, we got you." "You got me? What do you mean? You're stealing government money."
All right.
"I'm stealing government money?" I was in there for a whole minute.
Wow.
And I actually got here 6 minutes early in the morning. She says, "We don't allow people to get here early." So at that moment, Daniel, I said to myself, You know what? I had enough. So I was less than 2 weeks to being vested as a full part-time employee for life. The next week, I walked in there the day before Thanksgiving. I knocked on the lady's door. I'm going to call her Mary that's not her name. Mary, you have a minute? Oh, sure, John. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I want to say thank you for helping me become a better version of myself and helping you become a better version of yourself.
All right.
So thinking like, what am I smoking? She said, all right, are you going to get back to work? I said, yes, I'll be happy to get back to work. And I want to let you know that this is my very last day. She just like doesn't know what to say. She said, well, you're going to lose all that money. I said, you know what, Mary? That money's not important to me. Wow. I'll make tons more someday doing something that I enjoy and I'm passionate about, where people respect and honor what I do.
Yes. I
went outside helping one of the staff. I only had 20 minutes because they like you to leave right at 5. They don't want to pay a minute after. That was my last day. I said, well, you can just come back. You can't back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. You can come back on Monday. I said, won't be here Monday. How about Tuesday? She said, I know you're a weird schedule. You don't show up every day. You're one of the weird people here. So I said, no, I won't be here Wednesday. Well, how about Thursday? How about Friday? I said, she said, when are you coming back? I said, well, Tina, today is my last day. She said, oh, come here. She's like, I am so sorry. So what's the matter? She says, I knew they were going to do it to you. Do what to me? They fired you, didn't they?
Wow.
Fired me?
Oh, boy.
I quit.
I quit.
She turned so sour on me. You see, people have negative attitudes in our world, unfortunately.
Some do.
It's not my job to make you become positive unless you want me to.
No.
But when I hang around somebody and they're negative, a friend or whatever, I'm like, hey, let's look at the bright side. And they're still negative, and that happens 2 or 3 times, like, hey, Michael, I used to like hanging around you. If this is the way you're going to be, I really don't have time to spend with you. And they get all pissed off. Mm-hmm. But no one has the right to bring happiness to you, but you, or make you, well, other people make you happy. No one has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself, but you.
Yes.
So don't give other people that power, that privilege. Don't give it to them. And you know what's going to happen? Those people are either going to go away or they're going to change their ways.
Yes.
But you as a person owe it to yourself to understand this. And if you don't, that's a big problem.
You're right.
It's a very, very big problem. Thus, in life, you need to remember, I don't have my hat on today, but I usually have it on, believe and achieve. And it goes to our website, Believe Me Achieve, Believe, me, M-E, achieve, ACHIEVE.com. And it goes to my link tree, which has hundreds of videos. I produce lots of content. Also a video producer. Believe Me Achieve.
Believe me, achieve.
Believe me, and you'll achieve. Right?
Achieve.
Right.
Correct.
And so people say to me, John, well, it's not happening yet. I just spent the time. How long? Well, I've been doing it for 17 minutes. That's not long enough. And if you say to me, John, I can't have patience. So I tell you to get your little iPhone out. And you can say, hey, Siri, set a time for 1 minute. Can you be patient and grateful for 1 minute in your life?
Yes.
You could do that, right?
All right.
Then try it for 2 minutes. Then try it for 3 minutes. Try it for 4 minutes. Build up to 30 minutes. See if you can build up to 60 minutes. Because it was, I can't be grateful for that long. Think about the joy and that feeling that it brings you. And you know what's going to happen? Your energy is going to transpire to people within 2 to 5 feet of you. People are going to know that you're a different person. It's not going to be a sign that says, hey, he's different. People are just going to notice something different about you. I've known this with people in my own community. When I have stopped being impatient and I start being patient about, well, if you could help me, that'd be great. And something I started doing, Daniel, probably maybe over 6 or 7 years ago, on my emails, you might have noticed it. I put a closing on there. It says, warmest regards with gratitude.
Yes.
What the heck does that mean? It has my name on it. What does that mean? I said, well, I'm basically thanking you for the time that you're giving me. And some people are just like, wow, that was so nice that you actually, you did that. And I think we need to put more kindness into our world. We need to be doing things without an expectation.
You're
When you
right.
go to a networking event, put away your business cards. I don't ask you what you do. You don't ask me what I do. Typically, the way I, at a networking event, maybe I talk about the food. I love the wings. Aren't they great? I know my mom used to make these when I was a kid. Really? I love wings. How did she make them? And I start getting your story. Oh, what did she like to put on them? When did you eat them after school? Oh, that's great. And your friends? Yeah, my friends would come over and they start telling the whole story. And they're going into this whole thing and they're just, their faces lighting up. That's amazing. Yeah, I wish we could have wings like that. These are pretty close though, right? Not exact, but they're close. And now you have this thing. Yeah, I know. And now they start saying, yeah, and then she might say something like, and then I might say, gee, and so by having those wings every day, I'm taking it that propelled you forward to, want to do something else in your life, or you could ask some other question, but you want to tie it to something that's going on common in the room. Once you've asked something common about what's going on, then you might ask another question like, then you might go into something like, your childhood. Then you might go something into like, and so how does that make you feel? And then eventually they might open up and say, well, it makes you feel great, just like the way I like to help people every day. And they might say, John, well, what do you do? I help people every day become a better version of themselves and help everybody else become better versions of themselves. What is that? Well, it's not important what I do. I do a lot of things, but I can help people in technology and motivation. Really? Do you have a card? Would it be okay if I exchanged a card with you? Yes. Oh, okay.
You're right.
You don't just come out and throw a card at me.
Yes.
You've got to earn the respect and the right to give me a card, and for me to get the right to give you a card. John, I'm not really feeling it. Or you get these people on LinkedIn all the time, right? And they come in. I'm also a LinkedIn expert. And I get the people that come in and it's like, hi, I saw your profile. It's really interesting. And I want to add you because you seem like a great person. Or I'm really interested in what you do at this such and such. And I was like, I am so touched that you took the time to read my profile. I was just wondering, what particular item in my profile caught your interest?
Wow.
Do you know what they do? They go away.
Wow.
They ignore me.
Yes.
But when somebody does that, I had one person that did this to me, and I had a video. I said, I said, it's a shame how you ruined the relationship you could have had. Here's a free video you should watch so you don't destroy another one. And so what I tell people to do when you're on LinkedIn, don't connect with somebody, ask for permission. Hey, would it be okay if I connected? I looked at your profile. I noticed you're in technology too. Would that be okay? Now that's a genuine connection. You could tell the people, oh, hi, yeah, I do virtual assistant and I can help you with all your things. Okay, I'm not interested. Then a person comes back and says, well, I'm sorry you're not interested. I said, well, maybe I should have made the move and actually block you, which I'm doing now. And, if you actually request 3 connections and they're rejected, do you know what happens in a week? LinkedIn blocks you.
Wow.
For 7 days. So we have to realize that communication, has a big earmark to patience.
All right.
People want to get their message across. I get it. But we need to be patient with others. We need to listen more than we speak. And we need to be focused on a genuine desire for 3 things. If you're with a company, the company needs to win. The client needs to win, and you need to win.
You're right.
If one of those people don't win, guess what happens? There's an imbalance to the scales.
Imbalance. You're right.
So a lot of people are always having their hand out. You probably know these people. They have their hand out like this, right? And they want something. And usually I help them once or twice. Then the third time, I'm like, I did give you a few pebbles like last month and this month, and I haven't seen a value. You see, why is that important, Daniel? We all know what a bank account is, right? But what you don't know is that you and I each have our own bank account in our brain, our body. It's called an emotional bank account.
Yes, it is.
When I do something nice for you, well, You know what happens? It puts a deposit into my bank account.
You're right.
Okay. And it actually puts a negative into yours because you got a favor from me.
You're right. You're
The
right.
other way. So if we keep the balances, you want to keep them either zero or pretty close to a balance. You don't want to have one having a higher balance than the other because then it looks like I'm doing too much for you or you're doing you always want to have that period back and forth. If you don't, it seems like the other person's taking advantage. And you want to make sure that that's done in a way that's proper. So communication takes patience.
Yes. Communication takes patience.
Marketing takes patience.
Marketing takes patience.
Building trust, Daniel, takes what?
Yes.
Patience.
Amen.
But do you know what you can do in the fraction of a second, Daniel?
Uh-huh.
You can destroy that trust.
You're right. You know, the other thing that you say that I like, you say that building trust takes patience. I like that word. You know, and then you cannot believe people what like this, like they have to have patience, you know, to winning trust in people. This is the wonderful, you know, word that I like today. You know,
It's a great word.
yes,
And like I said, you could take the timer later and you could start practicing patience. Maybe practice patience with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers. If you feel that you're getting uptight or you're getting angry, what I tell you to do is this. Take a deep breath.
Yes.
And go back to the situation.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
If you're in a traffic jam and you're ready to say some 4-letter words, I'm in a traffic jam. I'm safe. I'm going to get to my destination maybe a little later than I expected. I can listen to some music. I'm comfortable in my car riding. And you can go with that.
All right.
I think when you have a premise or a mission that takes everybody else into that model, they want to help you, Daniel. They want to help you. Why? There are a lot of people that want to do good for each other. But there are some people that abuse that. And so it's our job to understand that when somebody's making that bank account go negative, to say, hey, you know, I helped you last week. I helped you this week. I've asked you 2 times already to help me with my stuff, and you've been too busy. This isn't really working. I don't know if we should really be friends anymore. That's what happens.
Right.
So we hit up at the pass and saying, look, I asked somebody to help me this week. Oh, John, you know, I can't. I'm going to be moving this weekend, or I'm going to be traveling, or I'm moving and I need help lifting. And if they say no, when you ask them again, they say no, you ask them a 3rd time if you want to. When they ask you, say, hey, I'd love to, but to be truthful with you, I don't want to.
You're right.
Because every time I ask you for help,
you're right.
You always give me an excuse.
You're right. You're right.
And they might think about that. But if you're somebody who just goes with the gusto and doesn't have patience to listen, to understand, to communicate, to relax, to enjoy, to meditate, to exercise, to be grateful and thankful.
Yes.
Great way to practice patience is to listen to some relaxing music.
Yes, you're right.
Another way to practice patience maybe is to do a puzzle. So